we're being awfully prolific this weekend for us. But one thing that's been like on the back burner was to talk about wine, because why not? We've had a couple of weeks now of going to Food and Wine, and I wanted to give an update of the cost, just to again set expectations for people if you're still yet to go or have gone and you're just kind of wondering like how our spending compares to what else is. And the other thing is there's that, I don't know what to call this thing. It's like it's the 8 entitlements and 16 entitlements lanyard you can get.
It's got a name. Good to look that up.
Yeah. I'll have to, through the magic of editing, I'll have to throw in a picture of it.
Yes. So it's a lanyard, and then you can get 8 coupons or 16 coupons. And those are also the same size, and they go on your lanyard. And you just tear off one of the little tickets, and you turn that in instead of paying for food at any of the booths. And there's a list of things that it doesn't cover. Any of the champagnes, any of the flights, and there were 2 or 3 other items. It wasn't a lot, but it was a few things. And to get 8 tickets, it was $59 plus tax. To get 16 tickets, it was $109 plus tax. Plus, in addition to the lanyard and the coupons, you get a pin, and it was a decent sized pin. My guesstimate, just looking at it, by Disney standards, it was probably a $20 pin. So I think that has to factor into the cost.
Yeah, and I guess without having one to show, it's the best way I can compare it to is it seems like one of those blings that you would get from one of those Disney events.
No, it's a pin. The front says.
Right, but it's big enough though that it seems like if you put it on a ribbon, it would be like one of those running medals.
No, it's smaller than what because I have a friend who runs. And I've seen his medals, and his medals are bigger. So if you want to see the pin, here's what you do. Go on eBay, type in 2016 Food and Wine tasting. It was like the tasting menu or something, tasting pin. I found at least 4 people who put their pins up on eBay already, and they're going for about $25 each. So I wasn't far off with my $20 estimate of what Disney probably would have charged $20. So if you want to see the pin, the front says Food and Wine. It opens up, Figments on the inside. So it was a nice pin as far as Disney pins went. So yeah, it was probably $20.
But of course, just like the Disney dining plan, I think the big question is it worth it? So here's where I want to give a shout out to the Disney Food blog, because this is they not only had a list of everything that's in this here passport book of what's all at the different pavilions and things, but they actually gave the prices. And so I dutifully went through and totaled them up with hashes. And first I figured out...
Who was serving hash?
That breakfast kiosk. They only roll it out...
There was a breakfast kiosk?
They roll it out 1 hour a day. And that day is Wednesday.
Okay, don't get all misinformation.
All right, so according to this, now I may have double counted, I'm not 100% sure, but officially, as far as the question is, how many things are there to eat and drink at Food and Wine this year? According to my tabulation,
which are subject to interpretation.
Well, and they didn't match up 100% with this book, and I think it's because the website that I got this off of, I think they counted Intermissions Cafe at the Festival Center, and this book does not consider that part of it. Weirdly, they give you a checkbox to say that you did it, but it's not a sticker, and it's not. They don't give you a menu of what they serve.
Really?
So in that respect, it's like, then I guess it doesn't really count. The other thing that makes it kind of not count is the African Outpost and the Festival Center charge tax. So we'll get into that in a little bit because the other kiosks do not. If it says $3.75 for an item, it's $3.75 for the item.
Well,
period.
taxes included, yeah, okay.
So, all right. So according to this, and I hate saying this because of what's going to happen next. Food-wise, officially, by my count, there are 99 items. 99 foodstuffs.
It's not where I was going.
All right, so 99 foodstuffs walking to the bar. The bartender says, "No way, we don't serve foodstuffs. Get out of here. Get out." And the foodstuffs say that I'm disqualified because I can't think of a joke. After weeks of having said
The foodstuffs say, "But why? You served us last night." The bartender says, "Yeah, I was out of my mind. I was bananas."
bananas, ladies and gentlemen.
Better than what you came up with.
All right, here it is. Now I got it back after I
I got
forgot. All right, so the bartender says, "We don't serve foodstuffs here. Get out!" And the foodstuffs said, "Well, that bites."
All right, so which joke did you like better? Tell us in the comments.
I'm already disqualified. So. All right, so fortunately, drink-wise, by drink I mean alcoholic drink, generally, it's 141 things. But the question is, so you get the 8, I guess we'll call it entitlements, is $59, which means that to make it worth it, or to break even anyway at that price, you would anything you bought, you would have or bought, you'd have to get something that was $7.38 or more for all 8.
Now that's not including the value of the pin.
Right. This is strictly the food.
So your numbers are slightly skewed.
Yeah, but I'm not going to work in like the pin value just because. Well, one is like people can hand those things out to their buddies or whatever. So it's like you can't hand your pin out to your buddies and have it count. So this is strictly food or drink only. And
I
so
don't hand out food to my buddies. I'd be much more likely to give them pins.
the 16 punch thing at $109 would mean that if it was strictly food and drink only and nothing else, then it'd be $6.81 an item or higher, or higher.
Now the
All
problem is how many things were over that amount.
Yeah, and that's where they get you. Is that if you thought you had it bad with the dining plan ever, check these numbers out. For the foods, as far as what qualifies at that strike price or higher, this is so technical. You can get a grand total of 3 food items.
Yeah, the food generally runs $5 and less.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few items, obviously, that are more than that.
Yeah.
Canada, the filet mignon being one of them.
Right.
One of the
beef at
beef
France.
in France, and then what is it? One of the lamb things was the third
I
one.
think so. I think that might be the third thing.
Yeah, and the filet mignon and the beef bourguignon,
Right.
totally worth it. Totally worth it.
All right, and then if you did the 16 punch thing, because you have that little lower floor or ceiling or whatever to get in on, you get 4 food items. So yay!
Do you know what we added?
Boy, I forgot. It was something. It'd be in the neighborhood of something lamb-wise, where it's like
Right.
at the just over $7. You couldn't do it, so it was like 6, or no, it would have been like 7 even or
Right.
something, or 7.25 or something.
But most of the stuff was in the $3.50 to $5 range.
Yeah.
So and we split pretty much everything, so it wasn't break the bank time. And you got to try more things because you didn't fill up quite as fast. You would still fill up in approximately 4 kiosks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that's partly why we moved here.
Now, speaking of filling up and your tolerance for things, then for 8 entitlements, drink-wise, you can get 32 things. And again, this is out of a possible 141. The other one was out of a possible 99.
Yeah. So if you're going to drink food and wine, then it's worth buying the snack. We really need to look up the name of this stupid thing.
And then if you did the 16 one, then you can do 34 different drinks.
Yeah.
Now I have to say that's a lot of drinking relative to eating. And so one, as far as like just food wise alone, unless you're gonna like use it on like basically the Canada steak and the French beef and then the New Zealand lamb or whatever, 8 times. And then we're kind of getting into Disney dining plan territory.
Challenge accepted.
Are you going to eat steak your entire trip because that's kind of where you're at with the dining plan? It's a huge disparity though as far as alcohol versus food. To the point where, to me personally, I don't think it's really worth it food-wise. But I also think that people, frankly, aren't really thinking. I think that they're looking for convenience. I think that
It is convenient to hand over your little ticket. There are also a lot of people who collect pins, and getting that pin, that's the only way you can get it.
Yeah.
Getting that pin is a big deal. And I'm sure if we took the $20 of the cost of the pin, which you or I don't care about, but a lot of people do, that's going to drop that price point. And it actually might make it worth it.
All right, so Jamie's seat of the pants math here is that factoring in the price of the
Assuming that
the pin,
the pin is $20,
yeah,
which I truly believe it is.
then you would have to, it would be $487, well, $488. So we'll just round up to 5.
Yeah. So and there were a lot of $5 items.
Yeah.
So it is possible to use it to your advantage if you plan. But like the dining plan, I see a lot of people who do it for the convenience of paying for it up front and then just ordering chicken.
Well, we've seen people like spend it on the $375 item or whatever. It's like, what? Like, why would you do that just anyway? You know,
Yeah.
other than convenience.
Yes.
You know, and I think that if you do approach food and wine from the standpoint of drinking your face off, I'm sure you're not making a whole lot of rational decisions. So that could be what's going on.
That's nice.
You know, I mean, maybe it's like a safety move. Like, you know, at least they're not whipping out the credit card and who knows what kind of damage is being caused. At least they're snapping off those. Like, there's a preset amount of how much damage you're doing to your budget, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. And then you can sell your pin on eBay and make $20 back. As at least 4 people are doing right this minute. The other thing I saw on eBay while I was in there looking up 2016 food and wine. You know our annual pass tumblers that we got? You go 3 days and you get an annual pass tumbler. We could have a cabinet full of those if we wanted to spend $20 to $25 on each individual glass. They're for sale. I think that's terrible. I mean, I get it, but I mean, if it was something I really wanted, then I guess I'd be happy that they were up for sale. And I guess if it was something I couldn't do, I'd be happy that they were up for sale. But but those are going for, like I said, 20 to 25. Somebody there must have been a couple who got them because there were 2 for sale together for 50. It was not us. Ours are in the cabinet. Anytime we pull out alcohol, we pull out our glass. Neither one of us wants to use it though because we're afraid we're going to break them.
Yeah.
We only have the 2. Although let's see if we can get them on eBay.
Yeah. So with that being said, we'll see you at the parks.
Bye-bye.
Now for the bonus features.
Secret scene?
At the Hollywood Studios yesterday, we caught a smidge of the 99 Things jokes, and my all-time favorite at Hollywood Studios. I'm always ready for it. They're never like they moved it to a different spot than where they usually are at.
I think that was for the shade.
And you know, I love that bit. You know, it's never old, and you know, you wonder like how much of it's like these improv players where they've done it so many times that it's just the same old. Well, when somebody started with L and he said lidocaine, and they went with it. You know, those are skills, baby. All right, so some guy was wearing a shirt that said like Disney vinyl or whatever, and he had 3 records in the shape of a Mickey. And so he called the mayor over to make a suggestion that the next thing they do jokes about would be vinyl records. And so he said, okay, then like a record, we're going to go round and round, and we'll just keep going until whoever runs out of jokes, and when that happens, they're out. And we had to get to the Frozen show, oh darn, and we couldn't see it. But this guy was just over the moon. So if you know that guy who was wearing that shirt, then let us know. And if you are that guy, well, hi. Well, anyway, and so we caught just a little bit of what they were doing, but somewhere in our travels, I was thinking like what I would have said if I was doing the 99 Things jokes about vinyl records. And it also is going to explain why I'm not a cast member.
Oh, God.
At least not a publicly facing one. All right, so here's my first offering.
Oh, Lord.
So 99 vinyl records walk to the bar, up to the bartender, and the bartender says, hey, great, you're here, this is wonderful, what do you guys want? I'm like, well, really? This is all the other bars we go to, they won't serve us. He's like, no, I think you're great. In fact, I think you're groovy.
Jeez. Okay.
Well, the other one, this is the one I'd be asked to leave. Would be, 99 vinyl records walk into a bar, the bartender says, no way, we don't serve vinyl records, and the vinyl record says, is it because we're black?
No!
It's a fair question.
Oh, look at the number of subscriptions going down.
Or up.
Oh. That's what you came up with.
Yeah, so here's the deal. If you thought that was a great joke, hit subscribe. If you thought it was a terrible joke, hit donate.
He's not affiliated with this channel or Fred Epcot Productions.
The sound you're hearing is a whole jar of Magic Bands going inactive.
You're awful.
Do you have any final records jokes? I'm 2 to your 9.
I didn't know we were going to do this.
Neither do they. In theory.
All right, 99 vinyl records walk into a bar. The bartender says, you vinyl records, you get out of here. We don't serve you. And the vinyl records say, what, seriously? And he goes, nah, I'm just needling you. Come on, I just made that up. All right, in the comments, my joke or his joke, who was better? Remember, he had 24 hours to think about it. I came up with that on the spot. That's probably not helping me. See you in the parks.
How about this?
No!